Hi, folks. Vincent Stamato here. I'm an application specialist with Topcon Solutions, and I'm here today to answer your question: what is Bluebeam and what does Bluebeam do? I've put together some workflows here to showcase some of the capabilities of Bluebeam software, many of which will save you time and money and improve your digital document workflow for measuring and marking up PDF documents to real-time document review with online collaboration. So Bluebeam is a fully customizable PDF editing and creation software designed specifically for the needs and demands of the AEC industry, whether in the office or in the field. I'm going to demonstrate a few examples of these workflows in Bluebeam, along with some takeoff capability, so you can see for yourself some of the power of Bluebeam Review. And with that, you will see some of the ways this tool will save you and your team time and money. So I'm going to start off with the interface. Menus, panels, and toolbars. So here across the top of the screen, you've got menus. Each menu has a drop-down with additional tools and functions. There are also panels. Panels on the side. I've got thumbnails, I've got bookmarks, and panels on the right side of the document. Measurements panel, properties, and then individual tools across the top of my screen that I could click on and use. I've also got tools in my markup tools tool menu, stamps, measuring tools, sketching tools, automatic form creation tools. These are toolbars that can be docked on your screen. Some of the editing functions. You can snapshot any of your content. You can export your PDF to any of these file formats. You can export it to a Word doc, to Excel. So let's take a look at some of these here. Right here, the file panel. This is my file access. These are recent files that have been opened. These are pinned categories of files. Here in my Bluebeam, I've got Bluebeam information that I refer to often. These can be collapsed. Thumbnails panel. These are little thumbnail views of each page in this entire document set. You can navigate by just clicking on any one of these pages. The thing I'm going to show you here right now is called OCR, where I can take this particular page right here that you can see is quite skewed, and clean it up and correct the skew. I want to show you markups here. These are examples of markups and comments. And what I want to point out here is how different comments from different entities can be arranged by color. In this case, the architect is using this light blue, whereas the contractor is using this light purple color. So you could easily identify comments and markups on a drawing, coordinating them with color. Let's take a look at hyperlinks. So here is a document that has hyperlinks. These little yellow boxes are all hyperlinks. I am going to demonstrate here linking to a wall section. Here I've got the wall section itself. Right here, if I click on this link, it will take me right to that detail. And you've also got the option, this will link me right to the page. You have the choice of either linking right to a detail on a page or right to a page. This particular page has got viewports on it. Here I've got a viewport that has a scale of 3 inches equals a foot. So right here is a 1 foot measurement. Here is a viewport that's got a scale that is 1.5 inch equals a foot. You can have separate scaled viewports on one individual document. You have to set these up manually. The hyperlinks are automatic. You have to go through a process to create all of the hyperlinks. Here is an example of a manual hyperlink where I could go right back to my indexes. Next, this is called overlay. So this is how you can compare two revisions of the same document. What you see in green is new content. What you see in red is the old content. So this particular tool that will highlight what's changed. Next, we'll take a look at tools and the tool chest. So I'm going to start out with count tools and then length tools. Bluebeam has free on their website tool sets that you can download. Here's an example of the electrical tool set. You've got all kinds of electrical icons right here, ready to go. This one here, I changed color. You could use the tool, change the color, customize it. What I want to show you down here is some tools that I made. I've got some circuits. I created a 20 amp circuit using a length tool. I got a 15 amp circuit. I've got a lighting circuit, some power circuits, a 2-inch and a 6-inch EMT, some switches in here. I rotated the symbol. Here's a switch that's used as a count tool, a receptacle or a duplex outlet. And here are some more electrical tools, electrical and telecom, security and CCTV. And here's electrical issues. These could be used as punch list items. And now we'll use some of these tools. So in this particular drawing here, I came here to the symbol legend, made a snapshot of this symbol right here. Then I saved it as a tool. So you can take a snapshot of a tool, give it a name, add to tool chest right here. Add it to whatever tool chest you want. You can also use this snapshot symbol or use this symbol as a search tool. So what I did earlier was I did a search, grabbed that symbol. So it's going to search this current page. Now, since I already did it, you'll see these triangles here. I already applied a count, but it goes through and searches for each one of these little outlet symbols. Then after that, create a count. So what you see here are all of these little outlet symbols with those light green triangles. I actually created a count. I've got a total of 72 outlets. I've got the outlets on a layer so I could turn them on or off. I applied a cost and a total. I also applied a vendor to the information inside that tool. Now there's another way you could do a count. I just used some check marks. So you could use the check mark style and just go through and look for each individual outlet and drop a check mark, and that check mark will give you a count. Other tools we've got is a 120 volt lighting circuit tool. So it's a line tool and called it a 120 volt lighting circuit. You can see here, this has got 29 feet. Here's my lighting circuit. And in this case, I'm just going to click from point to point, and this will give me information that I need to do a takeoff. All right, there's my lighting circuit. So I've got roughly 45 feet of lighting circuit. Down here in the tools in the markups list, you can see that tool has already got a layer associated with it. It's on circuits or lighting circuit. And if I wanted to give that a price, $6 a foot, whatever you want to call it, it'll just total that out. Now, with that, as you're adding markups, you can also have a legend, which is going to display quantities or in a table form, the markups on your drawing. So in this case, here's that 120 volt lighting circuit. As I add more of those, it's going to add up right over here. Here's a whiteout tool. I wanted to also show folks this whiteout tool. You can white out rectangle with a white background and no border and saved as a whiteout on your drawing. Another thing that you're going to find really handy with Bluebeam is here, I've got the tool sets. So you can take whatever tool set that you've got and make a file attachment of that tool set, attach it to the document. Wherever that document goes, they have access to the tool set that either you created or somebody else created. You can create a report or a summary. In this case, I've got some of the lighting circuits in here. Any comments I can add to this summary report, measurement information, cost, total vendor information, all of that information that's in the tool and in the markups list can be exported into a PDF form like this. You also have the ability to hyperlink right to that markup. Here we've got this other option for you called quantity link. So in this drawing, I am linked to this spreadsheet via the quantities. So these are individual markups This is the quantity of that markup. So I've got 84 feet of lighting circuit. I've got 43 feet of power circuit, 72 outlets, 3 switches. These quantities here are directly linked to the markups. I'll just take my lighting circuit and I will do a copy paste. But essentially, we just added an additional 40 plus feet, and you can see it updates instantly. It's going to take the markups and quantify them here on the spreadsheet. It will not take spreadsheet information and add it back to the PDF. Some other markup types and some line types. So here are 2 examples of line types. In this case, I've got 6-inch piece of EMT in a line format like this. This other line type down here, this is a line type where you can add text and create a custom line. And then here are some examples of links. You can link photos right to a drawing. This here is a markup that's got a photo link. And if I click on that, it's going to show me the photos that I loaded right into there. This right here is what's known as a note. In this note, I've just opened this up. I've got some electric code information, and you can see this particular note could be 1, 2, 3 pages, however long you want to make it. These here are hyperlinks. So here's a hyperlink to NFPA's website. Opens up right in Bluebeam. Here's a link to NECA. Opens up right here. So you can hyperlink to websites, you can hyperlink to other parts of your drawing. One other really handy tool we've got is exporting content to Excel. So right here is a lighting schedule that was in that drawing. I just took a snapshot of that lighting schedule, exported that to Excel, and now it shows up Excel spreadsheet content. So these are the tools and tool sets. Tool sets can be created, they can be saved. Next, this here is a snapshot image from Google Earth of a job site. Here is the plan. I've got a measurement from center line of the road to front face of building of 465 feet. I went ahead and scaled the snapshot, and now I was able to create that same 465 feet. So as I am taking measurements, you've got an actual image and it's scaled. So really handy. You can do this with any image. Here are some other examples of markups. So here's an example of a cloud known as a cloud plus. Here's another example of a cloud with some properties here. I went ahead and made this cloud with a yellow highlighted fill and a blue cloud shape. So it's really quite visible. This right here is known as a snapshot. This is PDF content from another drawing that I took a snapshot on the drawing, changed the color, dropped it here on this part of the drawing. Here I've got some work going on. So I've got a site picture that I've dropped right here. I've got a large concrete ramp that's going underground over here. Form fields. So I am going to open up a just an RFI document here. I'm going to come to my forms and automatically create form fields that you could individually create form fields. If I just wanted to say, put a text box in here, I could manually create form fields, or I could just come right in here to tools, forms, automatically create form fields. And it's going to populate this document with form fields. Here it identified this as a signature field. It actually read the document and put a signature form field and then some other basic text box form fields. And then next, I'm going to show you Bluebeam Studio. It's the online cloud hosted location for storing project documents and collaborating on PDFs, whether real time or as users are able to log in. So a studio project is similar to SharePoint. It's an online file storage that has permissions and folder structures, have specific permissions on specific folders. So not everybody can have access to every single folder. Sensitive information can be hidden or locked out from view. different file types. So in this project, you can have any file type, whether it's a PDF, a Word doc, JPEGs, any file type can be hosted and opened in their native format. It's a checkout process. When someone has a document from a studio project, they've got exclusive ownership. Nobody else can edit it. They can view, but they can't edit. Only the one individual who has checked out the document can edit the document. This is studio projects, studio sessions. So this is an online cloud hosted location where teams can work together to mark up documents, whether at the same time or when they get around to it. So here is an example of another user in this particular session who placed a few markups. The markup can be selected, but I cannot edit or change the markup. The markup is owned exclusively by the user via their email. In the record, there are multiple users with multiple markups. Each time somebody places a markup, it gets tracked in this record that can be printed out in a report. Markups can be tracked and identified by the user. Again, online collaboration where multiple users can add their markups and work together anywhere around the globe. This particular studio session is hosted on a web server. Anybody who has been invited by their email address, Bluebeam ID, to this studio session can come in here and place markups and be part of the overall document review.